Hola and bienvenidos. Welcome to my channel. So as you see, I'm in the house today and I wanted to share something with you. These are persimmons. They came from my neighbor's tree and she's a nice big tree. And last year she gifted me a box of persimmons and I absolutely love persimmons. Unfortunately, my persimmons tree died. But things happen. You live and you learn. So I will be getting two more. This persimmons, guys, is straight off the tree. And I just wanted to show it to you. See, it doesn't look pretty, but in the stores, they all look pretty. Look at this one. But they taste delicious. So I grew up with a love of apple butter. And that's because my mom would nightly make homemade biscuits on Saturday mornings. And my dad loved apple butter. And so we would always put that apple butter on those nice hot biscuits that mommy made. So I thought, you know what? Last year I ate the persimmons. This year I'm going to eat some and I'm going to try to make something from them. So that's what we're here doing today. I'm going to make persimmons butter so I can have it on my bread, biscuits, what have you. So you just need a few ingredients. Of course, you need the star of the show, the persimmons. But sugar is what they suggest. However, I'm going to use honey. And FYI, this honey is a local honey, courtesy of Black's Tropical Homestead. They have hives and they have had honey. And I've purchased some jars of honey. And here is their honey. And let me just tell you something. When you get honey that's local, it's good if you have allergies because it helps with that. But also too, honey in the store is all the same color. That's not the case. The same way these persimmons are not as pretty as the one in the stores, this honey may be different in color and texture across the board. So just be mindful of that. This honey is superior by far than any honey you could find in the store. So we have the persimmons, the honey. We also need lemon wedge. Make sure you take the seeds out. And some cornstarch. Now the cornstarch you may not need, but I like for mine to be a little thick. So that's what I use to help thicken it up. It will thicken on its own, but the cornstarch helps it solidify quickly and helps to maintain the solidity of your persimmons butter. So let's get to the cooking. So here is the box of persimmons. And like I said, you see the difference in the store-bought? So my question is, what do they do to get them to look like that? In any event, what I'm going to do is, just want to show you how soft they are. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them and I'm going to dig out the pulp and then I'm going to put it in my container because I'm going to put it in my NutriBullet. So let me get started with that. So I like to rinse mine off because I feel like when you're peeling them, you don't want any foreign matter in that mixture. And then I'm just going to drain the water off ever so gently. Next thing, oh shoot. So they've been rinsed. I just gave them a little bath. I'm rinsing. Saw that come out. So remember guys, they've been on trees. We want to get any foreign matter off them and kind of look at them a little carefully. Make sure there's no bugs. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the top off. Actually, just going to peel it off because see how soft that is? Look at that. I don't even need a knife. Had to get a taste of that. So I'm just going to peel a little bit more. Maybe I could just peel it off, but I'm going to scoop this out and put it in my container. And guys, it looks so good. And it tastes delicious. Look at this. It's like a jelly. Just peel this down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Look at this. I'm going to squeeze it. Oh my goodness. This stuff is so good. So delicious. Let me get this bowl here. Don't know why I didn't have that closer, but there we go. All right. And some of these, I'm picking it up and look, the jelly's just oozing out already. So I let mine get very ripe. I like it when it gets like this. Some people may like it a little more, not as soft, a little firmer, but I like it like this. Sometimes, if you get it when it's a little bit firmer and it's just ripe, it's not as sweet. Sweet, but not as sweet. So the longer it ripens, the sweeter it gets. Yep, perfect. And it makes it easy to do what we're doing today. Look at that. Super easy. I'm just squeezing it in. Let me show you the last one. All I did was just pinch a little hole at the bottom and just squeeze it. Yep, just squeeze it. So we've got our mixture. Let me go wash my hands. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the NutriBullet. Uh-oh. Let me wipe this off on the side. Got a little bit of this jelly on the side of the container, so I'm going to wipe it off. All right, so we got it closed. Good. All right, so I am going to put it on the NutriBullet. All right, guys, are you ready for the noise? Because it gets... So there we have it. Now we're going to go to the stove. I want to get everything ready. It's 1/4 cup. Oh, there's a little bit more. 1/4 cup of honey. Set that to the side. I like to clean the side of my honey jar. I don't like it dripping on the side. I cannot stand it. It is a pet peeve of mine. And then I have the 2 lemon wedges. Bada bing, bada boom. So I'm going to make sure there's no seeds in there. I've got 1 seed. Chuck that to the side. And this one's got 2 seeds. Okay. So just getting everything ready. And I need my wooden spoon. I like to use a wooden spoon. I don't like cooking with a metal spoon. Just a pet peeve of mine. So this pan is it's warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now open Look at that. Oh, and putting it in the bowl, it does thicken it up, but it would not stay thick unless we cook it. There we go. Look at that. It looks so good. So, I'm going to add the honey. And I'm not going to add it all. I'm just going to add half of that. And then later on I'll taste it and see how it tastes. Because we're making this to taste. Now, right now I don't have to stir it up a lot. But once it starts heating up, you're going to have to stir it a little quicker. More frequently. It will burn. Now, the lemons. Squeeze a bit of lemon juice in there. Fresh lemon juice. And guys, before I missed the seed. Oop, good thing I washed my hands. Before cutting this lemon, I rolled it and squeezed it just to help along releasing the juices. And that's actually what the lemon juice does. It helps enhance or brings out the flavor of the persimmons. All right, so let's discard these lemons and let's continue stirring. So I'm not going to bore you with this process, but you need to let this heat up. And as you're doing this, if you see any foreign material in your mixture, just take it out. It could be a little bit of the skin that got in there. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is smelling so good. But you don't have to put it in the NutriBullet or blend it up or food processor if you don't want. Some people like fruit in their spreads. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but this time I decided not to. So we're going to let this warm up a little bit, and then we're going to come back. Okay, you notice something? The color is changing. Starting to get a little bit lighter. Now we have to stir a little bit more frequently. Getting there, guys. We are getting there. Always pay attention to the side of the pan and make sure the sides aren't sticking. Not just the middle area, but making sure all the sides are getting mixed in and not sticking to the side of the pan. All right, we're going to let this sit for a little bit more. Usually I just let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes and then I stir it. 2 or 3 minutes and then I stir it. That's what I'm going to continue to do, guys. When you're stirring it, you will begin to feel that the consistency is changing because it gets thicker and thicker. And that's what I'm beginning to feel. All right. Just a few more minutes. I'm waiting for it to turn a little bit lighter. Okay, so I wanted you to see this. You see how it's bubbling now? That's when you got to be very cautious because you don't want it to burn. You don't. So you got to stir it a little bit more frequently. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch. Okay. Just gently add it in. Just dropping little by little. And guys, I haven't measured anything. I just kind of eyeball it, freehand Ooh, it's about ready. Yes. And not even a lot of cornstarch, just a little bit. And you don't want to add it all at once. You want to add it slowly, or else you get lumps. And that's what we don't want. So stirring a little bit more vigorously. I saw lumps, so I wanted to. Yep, I got one. All right, don't see any more, so we're good. And guys, we are now going to turn it off. And we're going to remove it and let it sit for a minute. Yes, this is the right consistency. Look at that, it just falls right in. Leave a little bit of space at the top. Just a little bit. Okay. Now you can keep this in your refrigerator for about 10 days, maybe a little bit longer. It usually lasts pretty good, so I think it'll be fine. If you want, you could take it a step further. You could water bath can this, and of course, it would stay much longer. But you would not be able to just do it like this. You'd have to debubble, make sure it's at the right level prior to water bath canning it. So that is my Persimmon's butter, guys. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Gózalo. If you like this, subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you. And like I said, if you were water bath canning this, you'd get the bubbles out and make sure it's at the proper level. But yeah, there we go. So those 8 to 10 persimmons made 3 jars. So this is my persimmon's butter. Delicious. Now it's time to make some biscuits.